Dude,
Yo,
Yo.
dude.
Hey.
I don't know if y'all can hear me. I'm really
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
okay.
Lima Charlie.
I got a lot of stuff going on, so somebody else gonna have to take it away because I'm not ready for 24, as you see.
Man.
Help!
All right. Well, look,
Help!
it's 2024. Welcome everyone to Unpopular Celebrities 2024 edition, brand new. Let's get it going. I'll put that there for Pete because obviously, you know.
Take a picture.
Okay. Yeah. So I want to welcome everyone to Unpopular Celebrities. I am the co-host, Billy DC, and then we have everyone else here. I would like for them to introduce themselves for any new listeners we may have. Let's start with good old Jessica.
So I'm going to go first, and I have my intro song that I'm going to play since today is 13.
All right, baby. Hey.
Wait till it come down.
Getting turned this morning.
Hey.
Ooh.
Hey.
Ooh.
Hey.
Today is January 13th. It is Happy Founders Day to my ambitious, bodacious, confident, devastating divas of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So I'm your host, co-host, J Player, and I'd be known as Chief Player. But I'll turn it over to my fellow Southern brother, Dale.
Yo, what's going on? I don't got no intro like Jay Player and Pete and all them. I was not told about this intro music, so I'll probably have mine next time. So I'm not over here looking like a fool. But Dale, Landell, Storm Brown, whatever y'all want to call me, live and direct UPC fam. Welcome 2024 for first podcast of the year. I promise we will start on time soon. I know we are about 11 minutes late, but
hey,
next time we're gonna start on time. And we got a jam-packed full show for you today. And last but not least, the man behind the engineering that gets the train running, Pete.
Yo, can y'all hear me? Because I'm about to go out. I know I am. Let me play my intro music. Pete,
Man,
to the stage.
What you flying? Paper plane?
Take a picture. Yo, what up, man? It's Pete. I can't stop the music without that one, so that's how we stop the music. But we're gonna take a picture. So, what up, man? 2024 back. Hey, live for the first time, and the picture's really bad, but we'll fix that. But we're on Instagram, on the Unpopular Celebrity Instagram page. We live right now. The picture looks horrible. It's just me and DC, so I'm going to fix it when I can. I'm going to switch Brown and Jess so we all got halftime, but I don't know if y'all see it. Yeah, but it looks bad.
I'm looking at Facebook now live. We look fine to me.
Facebook is fine. Instagram is tragic. Instagram is horrible,
Okay.
But we'll get there. We'll get there. But anyway, let me introduce another co-host, Eagles legend, fan. I got to put the fan in there. Eagles legend fan, my man, Big Philly DC to the building.
Eagles down.
Oh, Lord.
Haters.
So you want to introduce yourself, or are we just going to sit there?
All right, I already did, man. I think first, welcome everybody, man. It's good to see each and every one of y'all. I miss every one of you guys here in the podcast and all the loyal listeners. I'm ready to start 2024 off with a bang. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. We already featured some of it in our promo and as well as on the UPC page. So before we get started, let's talk about the coin, if y'all don't mind. Let's talk about that coin that we featured.
Right to it, huh?
Yeah, so just to give a quick overview. So there was a post on the Airman NCO page, shout out to the Airman NCO page, that was of a coin that was made or created by a chief, which is typical for chiefs. We make our own coin, and we use like Native Americans to kind of like relate Chief Master Sergeants to Native Americans, right? Because chief in the Native American culture is like the leader. So this chief made a coin and he was giving it out to folks for performance, which we typically do. And someone apparently got offended and went to the IG. So I thought, I'm curious what everybody else thinks. I put it on the page and we had a slew of comments. Some defending said chief, some that believe that maybe it was disrespectful, and some is indifferent. So let's start there. So Jess, what you think? You're a fellow chief. What do you think? Thanks for putting it up, Pete.
Look, after seeing the Colts come in, she said, "Oh Lord." So I do think, for me, the coin was excessive, and the only reason I say excessive is because it has two emblems that showcases, hey, this is the significance of our enlisted force, the pinnacle of being a chief. But I do believe that each chief that has the opportunity to design their coin, I like the individuality that we are allowed to place in that coin. And then you develop the reasons why, because most of the time you're giving it to a person because of excellence, sustaining performance. But also, like, I like to give mine out due to hardships. And I say that because a lot of our members, they don't know what perseverance is. And until they meet someone who has not only been a pathfinder, but allowing them to step into that position and be a trailblazer. That's how I look at mine, because I truly believe the people that developed and grew me, like I take the stripe as, hey, whatever they poured into me, I have a obligation to give that to them. So that coin, again, a lot of people, provided their perspective of it, but FYI, it was not me. I knew I'm in Florida. So there was another thing. I was like, I'm good, but that is not my coin.
No,
good.
I like to go next if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I saw a lot of comments on there. We put it up there, and first things first is I kind of kept the comments bland when I was talking as an unpopular celebrity, commenting or responding to the people. But I'm gonna be Pete now. I really don't give a shit.
Disclaimer.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Look at
call,
Dale. 2024
sorry,
coming in.
Yes, I ain't catch it before you went, but
anything that comes from Unpopular Celebrity Podcast is all unofficial. None of the comments or conversations or comments from us or the guests represent DOD or the Armed Forces as a whole. Good looking out, Dale.
Got you.
You better protect.
Let me go ahead. Yeah, protect that DD-214. Wind that back. So Pete will say, don't give a shit about the coin or whatever, because I'm looking at the reason.
Hell no.
I don't care about how it looks. I'm just gracious when I get a coin. And it's cool to look at, you show it off to people. Look who just coined me. And the first time I ever heard anybody offended by it. Now, I will say I'm not Native American. Don't have any background in Native American. So I understand if people get offended. I just don't know why. Like, what is so offensive? And I even put in the Facebook page, are you offended by the Kansas City Chiefs by their name? Because it's the same thing. I know the Redskins changed their name to the Commanders, but the Chiefs are still the same. And I think, Philly, you even brought up the hockey team, the Blackhawks. They're still the same. So if you're offended by that, maybe you just want to be offended by everything. Like, I've been seeing Chiefs coins since I've been in. And this is the first time I've really seen a problem maybe in the last 2-3 years. Not saying it's not right, but I don't think it's a problem. Dale.
Yeah, same thing. We're in a time now where a lot of things are offending people. The few that have loud voices that pretty much dictate how things are run now. If, one person, thinks it's offensive, everything has to pause. But I agree with you, like, especially for, y'all Chiefs, y'all get to, plan and design. I know you guys look forward to doing it. I even saw people's coins in the chats that were all like creative towards that individual chief, which I think is cool. But yeah, it's just, materialistic coin that means a lot from a chief giving it to, someone, and it's just a materialistic coin. Like, and as long as you're not like saying something offensive about the Native American culture, stuff like that. But if you're just, hey, you're a chief master sergeant of the Air Force, chief is the main word. That's, where it derives from. I don't see the big deal either. So I think it kind of got blown out of context. I'm interested to see how far it goes, but that's kind of like the world we're living in now. So we just gotta learn learn the ways, I guess.
So I'd like to play devil's advocate.
Okay.
So Dale, when you said when you think of Chiefs, it's related to like I said that too. That's related to like Native Americans, because the chief in the Native American culture, for what little knowledge I have, is considered a leader. But like you look at the Navy, like with the chief petty officers, do they do that with Native Americans? I don't think so. Somebody correct me if they do.
I'll try to ask them if they do, and I don't think we got a Chiefs coin or a Navy Chiefs coin, but go ahead.
And then not only that, I mean, you look at some of these football teams that's out there, like for instance, Pete, you said the Kansas City Chiefs, right? I mean, you look at the Kansas City Chiefs logo, it is a spear with the word KC in it. When you look at like teams like the Cleveland Indians and the Blackhawks, the depiction of a Native American is probably what offends people. And just the term behind it, like case in point, the Redskins, Washington Redskins, Chicago Black Hawks, right? And so if you throw the coin back up there, there's a couple of things that I was talking to this colonel at the job where I can see people would be offended. Like I think the chief in question that designed the coin, I think it's a poor choice of maybe the picture he used to create the coin. Because you look at the facial structure of the person on the coin. Case in point, like look at his face, right? Now, this could be this colonel tells me this is probably the picture of a Cherokee chief. I don't know. I've never looked it up. But when you look at the facial features of the coin, that probably could offend some people. And to Dell's point, yeah, I mean, a lot of people say people get offended easily these days. But is it, do we just, discount it if they're offended? Like, do we just say, oh, you're just offended? Like, what do we do? Like, you can't plan for that.
I mean, I think, go ahead, Jess.
Well, shout out to everyone that's telling me Founders Day first. Thank y'all so much. My other sorors are very appreciative. I will say this, like my mom's dad is full blood Creek. He's no longer with us, but I just remember the esteemed stories that he would tell or she would tell based off of, what his grandma experienced. Now, for me, I do look at, like you just said, like everyone is going to be offended. I just truly think, everyone is entitled to how they feel, but we have to just remember that feelings, like just because you feel this way doesn't mean that it's factual. And I know that'll lead like our Katt Williams interview later. But I just think from that perspective, it's just, I always go back when we talk about our history in the military. It's like, we want certain aspects told, but certain aspects we don't want to highlight. So it's like we have to stop picking and choosing when it comes to highlighting our stories of our history in the Air Force. And like for me, I used to always struggle when we talk about the Tuskegee Airmen because I'm from Alabama. Then I remember when you had the Tuskegee syphilis experiment on all of those people who were later, their families were impacted. So it's like, what part of this are we going to be appreciative of? Or are we not going to represent any of that history along? So like when we think about the chief, I think about the first female chief master sergeant in the Air Force, who was Grace Peterson, if I'm not
shout
wrong.
out.
But like think about her, like people were like, well, what chief inspires you? The first one, because I'm pretty sure it took a whole lot for her to make that position. So then when I think about Esther Blake, I'm like, did she have to shave her legs in order to put on like pantyhose or whatever back in the day? How long did our skirts have to be? So I'm pretty sure you had a lot of women offended back then, but what did they have to do about it? So it's like right now, I will always say this. If George Floyd's death never occurred, I don't think we would have ever pushed the pendulum when we talk about racial discrimination. And I say this because I've always felt that I was good enough to serve, but in certain capacities, I'm not good enough to lead. So going back to that coin, like that's that person's prerogative on how they wanted to represent the pinnacle of their career, what they cherish. Because I always ask when I was in equal opportunity, hey, what does this mean for you? It's just like one of my first complaints at Barksdale. Like somebody came to the EO office complaining about a young lady that had the Confederate flag on the back of her windshield. Lo and behold, why was a Black female? Because she was from Mississippi and had the flag on her truck. And I wanted to say, how y'all feel about this now? But it was asking her, why do you have that? What led to you to put this image on your vehicle? We don't ask that question anymore.
Nah. They'll go down.
Ultimately, go ahead, Dale. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, yeah, all great points. I was going to say there was a kid that just dressed up in the Chiefs uniform. He was portraying a tomahawk chop type stuff, and everyone was ridiculing him. Come to find out, he actually had Indian in his blood, and everyone was like recanting. Oh, we're sorry. And the kid was like 11 years old at a Chiefs game.
Damn.
And yeah, once they did.
I saw that.
Yeah, once they did some digging, they found out. So with this, the Chiefs coin, the person that actually, the coin in question, we don't know if he has, some in his bloodline. We're just all assuming, he's not one. So I think I saw someone in the chat that put that.
Yeah.
Tommy Grubbs put that chief is Chief Joseph from Nez Perce tribe. So like, I think people are quick to jump to conclusions and like Jess was saying, not asking those underlying questions of like the facts. So
And I think that's my other thing. Like, is anybody offended when a coin has the bottle opener on it? Like they're promoting alcohol? I mean, I don't know what. I don't know. Maybe
I
I'm.
don't know if that's a good correlation.
Why
I
not?
really don't.
I don't
Because
drink.
a bottle it could be opened up soda pop.
Show me a
Right?
bottle. Show me a place that serves soda pop.
Yes, you
root
you
beer.
from the South. They got places down in there, root beer, soda.
Those colas.
Still have those.
But most of it, I would think most of it
Thank
is
you.
beer.
That's what Tommy was talking about. The chief on the coin, not the actual
Correct.
chief. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
You
But
grab.
that's pretty crazy as well. But I don't know. I just not offended. I was looking back at the when we asked everybody to put their coins in there, and it's ironic because I can't find a lot of coins that are similar at all. Everybody, like Dale says, puts their own ideas, their own spins on it. I think that's the importance of them. I thought that was the reason for them.
Hey, which coin on there got the most likes? I'm curious.
Not yours.
I think
I think it
Chief
was.
Golf.
I think
Yeah.
it was.
I think it
What?
was golf. Let me see.
Man, that's Rob, bro. Mine had the highest.
Wait. Let me see.
I'm just
Oh
guessing.
yeah,
That
he
was
beat
last
you
time
by.
I checked.
Yeah, he beat you by 2. Yep.
Shout out to Chad, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Can I just
Can we-
let me just add
Can we
something
put that up there? Go ahead.
What?
That's-
Yeah, I was gonna add something else. So, man, I almost lost my train of thought. Okay, so case in point, like I'm just gonna say something. I'm just curious to see what y'all think. So, like for the chief that created this coin, in the end, I think Jess said it too. Like it's I think what's missing is the conversation because I'm sure when he created this coin, he's like, I'm gonna create this coin and make a lot of people mad on purpose because they're not gonna like this coin. I think he had, in my opinion, some good intentions in creating the coin. I think the key is whoever got offended, they should have had that conversation with their chief. And I don't know if someone knows the chief, somebody jump in the comments, but perhaps he didn't feel or she didn't feel comfortable having that conversation. But in the end, it's no different than you have someone like there's some people out in the culture that matter of fact, I'm trying to remember his name. I think it's Dr. Umar. Anybody familiar with him? Dr. Umar?
Nah.
Umar Johnson.
Okay, he's
Just about to give me. Hey.
You know.
Oh, yeah, his mic went out. Okay, so Dr. Umar is
My
like
mic didn't
normally
go
on
out.
the Breakfast Club. Dr. Umar said a comment that said Eminem could not be the greatest rapper of all time because he's white.
Yeah.
So, like Eminem, I'm offended by your hat, DC. Shout out to Tommy Grubbs, man. He's a good dude. But some people think that folks who are not African American shouldn't be in hip hop. It was like that for a while. And then after a while, you had some really good MCs who were Caucasian that came in the game and were just as good, if not better, right? But then some people are still offended by it. Then you have some people that are offended when they see like people who get involved in the lowrider culture. So it's like, to Dell's point earlier, that is true. I think in this age, and also Jess, when she made that point about George Floyd, I think when George Floyd happened, it opened a lot of eyes to a lot of things that people were probably upset about. And say, you know what? Now I'm going to say something. The only problem is, it's the communication is missing because you can't always factor in when somebody is going to be offended. But when you get called out on it, I think it's incumbent upon you to address it and then be open to other people's opinions. Because I think when you say, I don't see how you can be offended by it, I don't think that's the right thing to say.
I just think taking a step back, period. Like you said, they didn't give the conversation to that said chief who created the coin. But what I despise sometimes about us is we don't give the benefit of the doubt. We automatically go left or right. We never like play in that room of interpretation to sit and have conversational sparring to see like, hey, let me see it from your perspective. Then let me see it from, let me give you my perspective on it. We automatically go to the extreme and be like, you know what, let me make an example out of somebody. But I'm just like, why you didn't offer a conversation to that person?
I agree. What about officer call sign? Pilot call sign?
As far as like being used, how? Like, not
I was at my last job at DM. There were quite a few people that did not like some of the pilot call signs. They were a little bit provocative, I would say.
Oh man, so I'll give you
say that is tradition.
Hey, I want to give y'all an example. It's funny you say that. So this guy, I don't remember his real name, but his call sign was Daddy, Daddy.
Yep.
And when he called, he was like, "Hey, Sergeant Peterson, this is Daddy." What? What? I was like, "Say that again." He was like, "Yeah, it's Daddy. I work in the other side." I said, "Bro, you got to be kidding me! Like this got to be a game." But and it's weird because we had a female who refused to call him that, like just straight up refused to call him that.
I wouldn't do that either if I was her.
Right. Yeah. I want to do it as a man. I dang so, understand. But that was his call sign. Like, why? And I get the tradition behind getting a call sign. I think, I mean, I don't have one, of course, but you got to do something or whatever your kind of niches to get a call sign. But that joint is crazy to me because there is some crazy call signs out there. Some are pretty cool. Like this one dude's last name was Light. His call sign was Coors. So I was like, that's pretty cool, I guess. Makes sense. But I don't know how he got it, but I thought that makes sense. Let me see what Nicole said.
I'm curious to hear what it is.
I want to hope next time. Dang. Okay.
Yeah, Nick, tell us, put in the chat what it is. I'm curious to see what the call sign was.
But yeah, I guess I don't know.
Hey, do you have the ability to throw up that text I sent y'all in the messenger for Murray's note to the force when he was forming SimSAF about Native Americans?
Nicole,
did you just say?
Read it? Yeah, just throw that in there.
Did you just say? Do I have the ability? Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
Yeah, that's why your mic
make things happen.
Just do it.
I make things happen.
Just do it. Hurry up.
All right, give me a second.
Comment too. I like what Kevin just said.
Dale, you're gonna put that up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put it up right now. All right. Kevin Knott, retired chief. He facilitates the Acts of Chief panel. That's a good Facebook page. But he says call sign, good subject for discussion. Quite a few are quite obviously sexual, racial in nature, and call signs are not a bit in tradition, but have exploded in the past 20 years. Yeah, it's being real loose with their call signs.
Good point.
Especially at these fighter squadron. Every pilot has their call sign.
So if anyone wants to have this in the audience, I can send it out, put it out on the UPC page. But this is all open source. This was a letter that was sent out from former SimSAF Murray when he was in the seat, addressing the piece strictly about Native American culture tied to Chief Master Sergeants. And so just to summarize it, pretty much it was nothing in policy that says you could not do it, but was extremely frowned upon. And I remember when I was in that time, during that time, there were chiefs that were purging their office of said material because they didn't want to be that person. But then all of a sudden, at least from my observation, it has went away because you still find, and I'm guilty myself, guilty as charged, that has that type of stuff in their office to some degree. So, and the last thing I'll say with this one is it's interesting that this memo went out, and I believe it was 2005 or 6.
2005.
2005. Thanks, Jess. But to Kevin's point, when we talk about call signs, somebody who may know, correct me, but I don't remember seeing anything like this for the officer corps for pilot. Because it's clear SimSAF Murray retired was trying to set the enlisted straight, specifically chiefs, but why not for call signs? Right? It should be the same, right? Because and again, if a pilot is called, case in point, like you said, Daddy, the pilots may not take offense of it, but what about the young airmen?
Right.
So I had a former command chief, shout out to Charles Hoffman if he listens to the show. He was the Global Strike Command Chief. First time I met him, he said, "Call me Moose." I was like, "All right, Chief, no, call me Moose." I ain't call you no damn Moose. You know what I mean? But some people may be aware of that. So anyway.
Yeah. I was trying to see what he said. I don't know what WRT is. It's the Oh, look at you. All right. Yeah, that thing.
The Native American symbology used by Chief Master Sergeants. Great cover page photo on Air Force Times back when SimSAF Murray published the memo. I was selected in 2005 at the height of the no chief symbology. So, Kevin, I know you're not on here and live and in person, but in the chat, if you can give us a couple of quick notes of what the Chiefs were thinking at the time. Were they for it, against it at the time? I'm just curious. But good stuff.
So something in that letter I just saw while we had it up, I didn't read it until now. It says about the term Jeep Chief.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
they get a Jeep.
yeah,
Chief.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. Oh, so
Got
Tommy
carried
just
around.
something.
2020.
All right, hold on.
gave
I'll
me-
grab it. Oh shoot. Okay. Go ahead, Jess. I'm sorry. I'll pull up this thing that Grubbs just sent. I don't want to get too far off topic because we got a couple other topics, but I'll pull up the thing that what'd you say, Jess?
I was saying that I had when I made chief in 2020, I was a recipient of the Jeep.
How'd you feel about that?
I'm curious, Jess, how you feel about that?
I'm gonna be honest, I did not like that. And what I mean by that is, I mean, for me as a member of the sorority, like I did consider that like a form of hazing because, and I know sometimes this doesn't always go over to some people, but to me, a chief is a chief is a chief. There's no such thing as a senior chief, a baby chief. Like now that I have a line number for chief, I need you to take me up underneath your wing without a symbolic representation to say, oh, that's the little peon over there. Let us bring her in. I just didn't like that because I ain't gonna lie, I would leave that little thing everywhere. And they'd be like, oh, where's your Jeep?
Yeah.
Or people would take it. Like, and I'm just like, I ain't got time to be tracking this shit down. Like, bring it back to me, or I'm gonna just forget about it. But yeah.
So DC, I want to get your opinion too, but I want to get off this call sign thing. So here's kind of what Grubb said. I think that I was trying to read through it while we were going, but today's call signs are both official and unofficial, are chosen to highlight the characteristics of the aircraft or the person they are tied to. Similarly, many of the aircraft take on nicknames, which are referred to as call signs. So are we referring to two different things here?
So I will tell you, just doing a quick, just going through it real quick, just breezing over it. I don't agree with it. And here's the reason why I don't agree with it. It's kind of like loosely telling people, hey, call signs is no big deal. It's a symbol. It's related to the aircraft and mistakes pilot has made and stuff like that. But it doesn't address the type of call signs that are selected. That's the issue. Like if you're going to say, like if you're going to call like DC, like if I make a mistake and I forget to bring my helmet to the aircraft, and it's like, I don't know, absent-minded, right? Okay, is that an offensive? Maybe not, but it's not as bad as dummy, you know what I mean, or whatever call sign they may use.
Porn.
That's the issue.
I've known that when the call sign was named porn, and I'm just like, I don't know why or how
or long duck or whatever, like like from that movie 16 Candles, long duck dong or something. Somebody had a call sign like that, and he was Asian. Like, come on, man. Like, that's what I'm talking about. And so, Tommy, jump in the chat if I'm wrong, but just breezing over that letter, there's nothing in there that says, hey, look, we need to pick call signs that are not offensive and stick to the traditions and culture of Air Force protocol and professionalism. It doesn't say that. It just says why call signs are used.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking through the bottom of it. 50 call signs on the wall under one squadron of power. Yeah, you're right. I don't see anything that says like.
And there's ACC. Not shout out to ACC. I love AC. Maybe I'll get lucky and get an interview there if I decide to stay in. But anyway, but coming from ACC, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's Air Combat Command, but I don't agree with like Nick says 2 C's. See, that makes sense, right? Yeah. Just like Philly DC is like a call sign. They say Chiefs. They ask you in your bio just call sign. They say, what's your call sign? Right?
A player. I always tell.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't call myself like what you call it? Omar or something. I don't know, like from The Wire or something like that. You know what I mean? Anyway, you get the gist of it. I just think, and this is another topic totally off of it, but does it feel? I'll just ask this and just be honest. And if I'm wrong, just throw me under the bus. Oh, you looking at Kevin I's one?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, go.
Oh yeah, this is his perspective.
Don't do that, Jess. Don't.
What?
I rarely read it. So
Just got me with.
I'll read it. Throw it up. All right. Kevin I said 2005 was not popular amongst Chief Master Sergeants to stop using the Native American chief image. The policy was intended for official use, as it was getting out of hand, and many Chief Master Sergeant offices resembled a Native American museum. We received a stained glass chevron as our presento, and nothing related to Native American chief image. I do wear a chief ring with the Native symbol and have 3 chief busts from 3 assignments. I do think things can be done respectfully. I agree. But just like tacking on stripes, we are always our worst enemy. Ooh, and take things too far, and knee-jerk reactions kill everything. When you get a couple of, you open up a can of worms. Like, even,
Kevin,
I want to
there
quickly
you go.
cycle back. But before I do that, I mean, let me hear what Dell, what you think? Because, like, respectfully, Dell, out of all of us, you're the youngest. So I'm just curious, when you see and hear this stuff, what do you think about all this?
I'm kind of like in the like middle, like I'm not like an old head, but then I'm kind of like new generation because I came in 2010. So like, I'm not offended by it. I know like the younger, like the pretty much the junior enlisted and below, those are the ones that are causing a lot of the ruckus. I was a part of the shut up and color type mentality. I learned to form my own opinion. If someone was offended by something, I'd, ask them why or whatever. A lot of times with these airmen nowadays, with the social media, they like to throw rocks at a glass and then hide their hand. It's kind of like one of those things, like they don't know how to, like you were saying, like with the chief thing, like why didn't that person just have a conversation? It's just a quick outlet for social media to blast out there and get off my line. Yeah, for people to blast out there and get reaction, like he was saying, knee-jerk reactions rather than formulating their own opinion, interpretation, stuff like that. So yeah, that's where I'm at pretty much. I'm kind of like in the middle age, but I'm swinging more towards the older generation.
I just want to highlight quickly what Kevin said. I think it was brilliant because he said it's just we are our own worst enemy. He's right. Like the Jess, when she said she didn't like getting the Jeep, it was because what they were doing with the Jeep. Like there are some chiefs that get a Jeep and they just display in their office. There's no requirements. They don't have to carry it with them. They don't announce it to all the chiefs at the Chiefs group. This is a brand new chief. It was just like a symbol, like, hey, I made it, but I won't forget where I came from. I was once an airman. I didn't know everything, and today I still don't know everything. Hence the Jeep. But there were some chiefs back in the day that took it as a hazing, and then it got to a point where it was frowned upon. And then when you look at like tacking on stripes, it's the same way. Like I remember when I got my first stripes tacked on, I was super proud. But now you see these videos of people like trying to knock somebody's arm off when they doing attacking, and then they video recording. It's all over the place. So yeah, Kevin made a good point. It's just sometimes we take things way out of bounds.
Yeah. Let's go final thoughts and then we'll
oh man, like some of us grew up off of that mentality, and I truly appreciate it because y'all was, like the young folks say, standing on business, whatever they say. But I appreciate that type of leadership back then because some of us still hold that true. And I do like what Chief Retired Marcus Oates stated: selective outage or outrage. So, yep.
Oh
and
man, okay.
I saw her 2 C's talking about she like 2 chains.
Yeah, I know you was gonna like that one. Hey, so one more, and then we got to move on because we're gonna be here all day.
Yeah, I
so
saw that one.
Yeah, somebody read this.
You're on it with officers enlisted with the difference and how accountability may be. Buckle up for this one. What's your thoughts on the enlisted nowadays having equivalent degrees or even higher, doing more work but getting paid less? Command chiefs are only getting an extra $250. Damn right, you right, bro.
Relax.
You right, man.
Relax.
It's the same when it comes to security. SimSAF doesn't have their own PSO teams, but the 4-stars do. All right, so I'll be real quick.
No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't.
I see what
Okay, I will continue. Okay. So Pete, correct me if I'm wrong. We did a show on this last year.
Yeah.
We were talking
Yeah.
about warrant officers and things of that nature. So this is what I'll say real quick. I do think it's I do think it's a travesty. Like when I first came in, it was not normal for an airman or even an NCO to have a degree. I remember when I met Todd Simmons, shout out to Todd Simmons, when he had a bachelor's degree, our jaw dropped. Like, I can't believe it. He was like a unicorn. Now you look at you got airmen out there with master's degrees, but they're getting paid less than a lieutenant who's going into officer training school or ROTC or the academy. I feel like tech sergeants, master sergeants, especially if we're supposed to mentor officers, am I saying they should be paid more than officers? No, but they should be paid more. And if you have a degree, there should be some type of track that you can go in to be maybe a warrant officer to get paid for your degree, especially if you prove you're a technical expert, whether that be a test or some evaluation or something like that. And then the last thing, as far as the pay, I agree. I won't mention it, but I've been at a base where the SimSAF was coming, and they didn't make as big of a they didn't make it a big deal like they would for the CSAF. Now, I'm not saying it's SimSAF better than CSAF. I'm not saying that. The last I checked, SimSAF is like 4-star equivalent. And she is the senior enlisted leader of the Air Force. So whatever rogue red carpet they give out for those senior leaders, she should get it the same way. And I think there's some old school mentality to look at as, okay, they're just enlisted. We're not going to do all that. Not everybody, but I've seen it.
I mean, I don't want to get punched when I say this, but I mean, I'm on here with all defenders. Do y'all think that should be like a special duty?
Oh, I'm gonna try to be.
No.
I'm gonna try to be calm. I'm gonna try to be calm.
You ain't a defender no more, so be
Oh
quiet.
yeah.
Neither are you.
You ain't defending no more.
Neither is Dale. It's like we
In
all
about 8 months, I'll be back in defender lane.
Yeah. But oh, man, I think okay. Let me go back to the education, and then we got to move on. But I think there was a time period that the Air Force had, or maybe the DoD as a whole, the military as a whole, to recognize degrees and to give special pay or something like that, because there wasn't a lot out there. And it would be an incentive way of being enlisted and going above and beyond, because you're still doing enlisted work, but you have went above and beyond and got officer type training, like a degree, exactly just like yourself. But I think now the pendulum is swinging way too far, and we kind of missed that boat to start incentivizing people with pay. Because bachelor's degrees like in the AAA now. I don't think people get associates anymore. They just go straight to bachelor's. So I think we missed the boat on whether we could pay people or not. But I do think it, like kind of what DC said, it is a tragedy that we don't have that anymore, or we never had that at all. And also the security forces thing, man, it's just the job we do is a lot different than a lot of other jobs. I'm not saying it's the hardest, not saying it's the easiest, I'm not saying it's the best, nothing like that. But just speaking Air Force alone, I don't think we should get paid more now. I think there was a period where we should, and we missed that boat as well. But now,
So I know for me, I remember when I got thrusted in equal opportunity, and we used to go do the out and abouts. And the thing that used to like just blow my mind is that security forces and maintenance, the two largest communities in our service, is like y'all struggling. And I could say that especially from my cousin, he was maintenance, but I just always offer like, yo, I feel that more should be given to you all. In what capacity? I'm talking about like from a mental health supportive perspective. I'm definitely talking about just like, how do y'all maintain, like, it's okay to find a person to be y'all person, because y'all work so long. And then sometimes, you have your significant other, but what if we have a member in those communities who don't have a significant other? How can we equip them to just be better? Now, back to the degrees. I'm sorry, I go to school all day, but I do believe that getting a degree is two things. I like what DC said, like we could get a track for those individuals who are straight technical that have degrees. But I truly believe like any schoolwork we do, that's theory. It takes practice to actually, what you learned and put it into practice when you're dealing with people. I do not believe that just because you got a degree that you can take care of the force. So I do say, like, hey, we are a highly educated force, but you got to be very careful when you're saying, well, so-and-so got this degree. And I'm like, you probably can't even lead a damn ant back to the ant bed, but you'll talk about, oh, they're ready to be a command chief. No, the hell they not. Let them stay with that degree and put them like where they are a technical expert just with a degree.
Shout out Chief Hater in the comments. But Dale, you got anything? We gotta move on. This is the last thing.
They killed it. Let's go ahead and press on to Money Mike, Katt Williams.
I'm sorry, I took that down kind of quick. So let's go to Katt Williams. I know everybody saw the interview. If not, it's on the whatever Shannon Sharp's
Club Shay Shay.
There you go. Okay, his little stupid podcast. But anyway, shout out Shannon Sharp when you're watching. But
because we're not getting Shannon Sharp on anytime soon. There goes that.
My bad. Hey. Shout out to Shannon Sharp's podcast. But I think so I saw the interview, right? And he just had 15, maybe 30-minute soliloquy about just bashing, or as he called it, setting the record straight. I will go first, and I will say, I think Michael Denson put in his Facebook page, I'm going to steal it from, but he put in there, I don't have to turn somebody else's light off for my light to shine. And I think that's what he was trying to do, was turn other people's lights off so that he can be back in relevance. And I think that's pretty low. I think that's pretty childish. I don't know the conversation beforehand. There must have been a conversation beforehand. Like, I'm about to go off, and of course, like people in our podcast, like, man, do your thing, because we don't know what we're walking into, but we don't want to stop anybody. But I will say it was very childish of him to do that. My comments.
I'll say I loved it. I said, okay, you have given me the sermon of my career, because even though he was talking about, comedy, I looked at it at various environments and perspectives. So for me, it was like, you know what he did tell him one line, he said, the truth doesn't need motivation. And there's so often times where a lie will be, believed. And it's like you over here with the truth, and it's like nobody is buying into it because it's not nothing. But I do believe in, if you go back and you start, somebody was like, oh, let's go fact check him. Have you seen how any of them have came out and spoke towards the comments that he delivered in there? And that's the thing with, I don't think he dimmed their light, because, normally when you're trying to give your perspective, you always going back and forth trying to downplay what this person has said. I'll even take it to where I had a similar reflection. It was like me and Chief Gloria Witherspoon, she's retired. So we're both Muslims. We had both a phenomenal career, but it's like we are two individuals, again, who are different. We have our similarities, but that doesn't mean like, oh, they got to be at war. It's some beef. Like, I don't have to say anything about her that's negative. She doesn't have to say anything about me that's negative. And that's how I took it. I'm just like, he gave his truth on his experiences. And I left it at that, because that's his experience.
I hear you. I don't want to control the conversation. I hear you. That was 20 years ago. 20 plus, I think. You had plenty of the other opportunities to get on and set the record straight, and you chose now. My thing is, I won't be surprised if a Katt Williams special comes out in the next couple of months. And that was just his way to shine light on him. But that's just me. Dale?
Yeah, I'm all about, hey, you got, like you were saying, if you got a problem, go ahead and say it. And he has said this numerous times, like when different radio shows, but with Club Shay Shay having over 1 million subscribers, this got more publicity rather than a regular, this regular podcast. So it got, more views. Plus, during that time, we're going to New Year. Nothing was really, it was kind of like New Year, and then it was kind of dead. So then that was like the first thing people tuned into. And he had some nuggets in there that, you know, people turn to, like, that actually related to. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, I just think there's always been that beef between him and other comedians. It's nothing new. Like, it wasn't new to me. Like, I always knew he always said Cedric the Entertainer always stole that joke from him. Like, but I think it was just the platform it was on, because Club Shay Shay has people that love him for, you know, being Uncle Sharp, and then sports, all sorts of stuff. And then he has the nightcap with Ocho Cinco. So he has a real diverse group and audience. So I think it was the right podcast for the platform he sat on for the publicity. So then some people just thought it was just a move where he just wanted to air out. But I think he always said what he always said. But, you know, I was all for it. Like, you know, I always knew about it.
Or said previously, well, he said, I think he had a legitimate.
There you go. Legal grievance was ignored, so he aired it out.
Legit.
I'm sorry, legit grievance would be. I hear you. I hear you.
So,
DC, go ahead.
Perspective. I'm sorry. What about this perspective when you have? So I always say, when you're going through it, you know, you're going through the storm. When he was going through all of this, maybe he wasn't in that mental capacity to frame his grievance like he did. And I will admit, like he said, everyone says, like, you know, I'm on these drugs, or you know, I'm not in the right mindset. But he really has always been in the right mindset. So that's what I took it as. I'm like, maybe back then he was trying to figure out, like, you know, why I look like them. Why are they not allowing me the same opportunities as them? Like, we all trying to eat. So I looked at it from that perspective. It's like, yo, like, during that time, he wasn't ready to talk about it. But now he is ready to talk about it.
DC?
Ken said there was nothing childish about that moment. You missed the part where he had addressed what previous guests said on his platform. That's why he addressed it. I also look at it like this. People who feel that it's childish may be the same one that advised members to overlook wrongdoing. So here's my take. I agree with Pete, and I agree with Jess too. And I don't want to be like, you know, wishy-washy, but or like a windsock. But here's why. I agree with Peter saying, because, well, no, I'll take it back slightly, because it may have been 20-some years, but it's not like he just said something. He's been saying something for years. It's just for a lot of people not to know, because he was on Club Shay Shay, like Del was saying, it's got even more magnified. And then, make no mistake, it is a power move, business type move too. Because I would tell you, I agree. I would not be surprised if a show comes after this. And it's not like Katt Williams wasn't famous anyway. There's a lot of people that adore Katt Williams and consider him as their favorite comic. And then, like, the stuff, what I liked about it is when he was throwing out claims, there was some receipts behind it, because I didn't know about the Steve Harvey one. Then I looked it up. I was like, dang, he did. Then he put out the Cedric one. Dang, he did. Then I was like, I remember hanging with Mr. Cooper. Then Steve Harvey came out with that joint. I was like, man, that's true. And then I saw another interview when this reporter went to Steve Harvey when he was walking somewhere, and Steve Harvey was visibly upset that he was asked him. He's like, are you kidding me? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, usually when you confront somebody and they respond that way, they did something wrong. They did. And so in the end, what?
Oh, he just said he's set to go on tour.
Yeah. I mean, look at Chris Rock, right? I'm sure Chris
wife.
Rock didn't plan for Will Smith to smack him in the face. Shout out to Will Smith. We're trying to still trade you from Philadelphia. But anyway, that's another story. But Chris Rock had a special after that. And then there were other comedians using that one moment to put in their routine. Yeah. So it's just one thing I want to add. Some of the things I got out of that interview was it resonated with me. One, the part he said about Bernie Mac, you know, people stealing jokes and stuff, right? There was an interview Bernie Mac said that he did, and he was warning people, do not do your good material around other comics, because they can't help themselves, they will take it. And so when I think about our business, being in the Air Force, right? Specifically when it talks about gatekeepers, I think there are Air Force gatekeepers.
It is.
Some people may not like it, but I'm be honest. In the enlisted corps, in the officer corps, there are gatekeepers out there. And some people may say, what's the big deal? But it is a big deal. If you are not giving people a fair opportunity to win because they don't look like you, they don't act like you, or they don't have the same thoughts like you, then you are the worst gatekeeper. And unfortunately, there are some out there. And maybe those who are in the chat, you might have been a victim of it. Because they say, like, to make chief, it takes a village. But what type of village? Is it a gatekeeper village where you got to do what they want you to do in order to do it? Because he mentioned Puff Daddy. He right. And I see Ken in the comments. I tell you, I think Ken, and Ken, correct me if I'm wrong, in my opinion, I think he was a victim of gatekeepers too.
He is.
Ken is a phenomenal, Ken is a phenomenal dude. But I think
just
he was
in a couple words.
Like when I fell out when we was in ALS and I was running, him and Clyde Rankins looking at me like, damn, girl, you must be pregnant. And I was pregnant. Fell out from running a 5K.
Yeah. Hey, can you just in a couple of words explain gatekeeper? I mean, I know what it is, but there's some people who might not.
Here's what a gatekeeper is a person that's in a position that has a bunch of authority and influence. And in order to get to where they're at, they will, probably good gatekeepers, which is also good supervisors, will put you in a position where you'll get the exposure you need and the talent you need in order to pass through the gatekeeper. Then you have your bad gatekeepers, the one that says, you got to look like me, talk like me, think like me, do what I want you to do in order to get by. And if you don't, I'm going to do everything I can to prevent you from getting that gate.
And it's basically called you're going alone to get alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get in
like
that commonality of playing the game.
Yeah. Tony B said there is a chief gatekeeper too. He's right.
He is right.
He's right.
That's
and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say this might be controversial, so I apologize ahead of time. I think there are a lot of people that retired because of gatekeepers.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's not groundbreaking.
I am retiring because I am a victim of gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Joe said strats. Oh man, I won't even get into that.
I was gonna say I didn't start noticing this whole gatekeeper thing till I made master. Because it's in the hands of your unit to put you up and stuff like that, and the boards and stuff like that. But when you're NCO, you're testing for your rank, so it's all on you. But then once I made master, that's when I started noticing the gatekeepers for other people not opening the gate and keeping it closed for other people, and then folks retiring a lot sooner than what they wanted to do because of that, because they couldn't PCS because of certain gatekeepers at their base. So yeah.
So real talk, Joe Joslin, who was just in the comment, he's a victim of a gatekeeper. Those who are in Ramstein with Joe know what I'm talking about.
Seems like a lot of people have. I'll go back to the Katt Williams thing real quick, and then we'll go on to the playoffs and we'll get off. But if he has said it on multiple radio shows, then it seems like it's just that's his way to get publicity, I guess. Keep saying the same thing about other people, how he was done wrong. Or I know like the Ricky Smiley thing, like he said, oh, I have Money Mike's part, and he's like, no, it was my part. Bruh, you have the part. We all see you as Money Mike. We even call you Money Mike. You won. Relax. Just do what you already done. Let your work speak for itself and just move on. But what you want to do is right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm not saying what Ricky Smiley did wasn't childish or wasn't crazy or whatever, or he didn't have no reason to lie. But that's just his truth. That's how he sees it. I just wouldn't want somebody else to talk bad about other people or bring up other people's stuff just to say, like, I did everything right. I'm perfect. I never did drugs. I never stole any jokes. I never, like, come on, dog. Like, I'm sure people shine light. Go ahead.
Ricky Smiley said that first on Club Shay Shay's interview.
Right.
He was just pretty much answering it. Between now and then, he didn't say anything about it. But since he got the platform to address his question, that's why he aired it out. Like, hey, this is what really happened. So I guess he does have the opportunity to present himself.
Yeah, sure. Sure. But if he's done it, if that was the only thing, cool. But like the Cedric Entertainer, you said he said that multiple times. Bro, how many times you gonna say it?
But he was Cedric Entertainer was on the show too. So like he's like, so Cedric Entertainer, Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, they were all on Club Shay Shay before Katt Williams got there. And Katt Williams' name came up on all three of them. So he just addressed all of them on that one show.
I got you.
Mm.
I didn't see all that, so I digress. Put my head between my legs. I digress.
But P, I think the best commonality or like experience I could shape for you with the Katt Williams and Steve Harvey perspective is think about you have these, for lack of terms, weak ass leaders.
Yep.
They look good on paper. They stand in front of crowds, like portraying to be, that strong and confident leader. But then you legit got a strong, confident leader over here, and people that 1 week link is like, yeah, this person don't do this, that person don't do that, because they already know they're ill-equipped to be in that position alone. So that's how I took Katt Williams' interview. I really did, because it's like you had all these people before speak on him. So now this is his opportunity to clean up every narrative that they gave of him. So that's how I was like, everybody loves to speak on somebody else's, but you don't know what that person's journey has been.
Right.
I like how he highlighted his brothers, like him leaving that house, but still being able to, am I making the right decisions for leaving at such a young age? And how he made it to Florida. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. I agree with that. Maybe I just had a different perspective looking at it. I was just, like I said, enough's enough.
I like Katt Williams.
I do. I don't mind Katt Williams.
He don't like him. He's a hater.
Look, I'm not a comic fan at all, but I don't mind Katt Williams. I don't think he's that funny. And that's gonna sound like I don't like him.
Who's funny then? Who's funny?
I don't
What's
really
your top
like.
comic?
I don't have one. I mean, I really don't like. So I don't really count. But I don't.
When he was over there,
Exactly.
Like, come on now, Pete. We're gonna have to just.
I think Katt Williams was good on Wild 'N Out. I think he was funny on Wild 'N Out. But that's about it.
You know what? Go log on your Netflix and look at Katt Williams' World
Man.
3.
I seen it. My bad.
What?
Yeah, the Pimp Chronicles.
What did Katt Williams say about?
Oh.
What did he say? He said an analogy I thought was brilliant. He said something about, something about basketball players. He used an analogy about basketball players. I can't remember the exact quote, but it kind of reminded me of what you're doing. Because like you, the whole time we're talking about the interview with Katt Williams, and you was like, he's not even that funny. And I was like, who's your favorite comic? You don't even have one.
No, I don't really have one. I don't think he's that funny. I mean, the Pimp Chronicles was good. Like the first one that came out, it was good. But I think the first Kevin Hart one that came out, whatever the first one was, Grown Ass Little Man or whatever. See,
he's all right.
See,
man.
and
Kevin
that's
Hart.
what I'm saying.
You think so? That's why I told you to look at World 3 tour, because he stated in there, I think this is right after COVID or like 2020, he said that, the culture or America had us believing that it was a shortage of chicken wings. But then he was like, nobody talked about the chicken. But it's real. So like that is the stuff I'm like, when you sit there and you just listen to comics, it's like, damn, you're right. Like ain't nobody talk about the whole damn chicken, but we over here talk about it's we got no chicken wings.
Yo,
no, we ain't putting that up. Nope. We ain't.
Sinbad. You gotta look like Sinbad too.
Take a picture.
You gotta look like Sinbad too.
Are you done? Here he goes. Nah, that was good. I just don't think he's that funny. But anyway, I'll take my shots. I'll take my shots to the face and we'll move on. Dale, I know you gotta go, so I want to get this in before you go. NFL playoffs. Can we get to it?
Oh yeah, starting today.
Starting in about 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, 2:30 or 2:30 our time. But I got the Texans, young rookie CJ Stroud. I got them one.
Wow.
And then I got the Chiefs beating Dolphins, Cowboys, and Lions for this weekend.
So you going for the Cowboys?
What's that?
You said the Cowboys?
They're going to beat the Packers. Yeah.
Okay.
And what about the Steelers, Bills?
Bills.
And I'll throw DC off if you want, but where you at with the Eagles and Bucks?
Fire the cannons.
I ain't got the
Buccaneers.
cannons.
Fire
He
the
does.
cannons.
Dell.
I got them winning by 1 point. The Eagles are hurt. They one man they one man short.
That's all the cannons I got.
But yeah, that's with that. I'm gonna let DC cuss me out while I'm gone, and I'll see y'all at the corner.
All right,
Whatever.
Dale.
I'll see you. I'll see you. Dell.
Bye, Dell.
Later.
He said those picks are on point.
Oh yeah, let's go.
All right, Dale.
Later.
So we'll move on.
Knock him out completely.
I can't. He's a host. Dale, you gotta turn your stuff on. Oh, there you go. There he goes. All right. I'll go. So I actually got the Browns over the Texans. I actually think Flacco's gonna be okay. Manage the game well, run the game. Chiefs over Dolphins just because of the weather. I don't think they're gonna be able to operate in that cold weather that everybody really in the country's having. Cowboys over Packers, kind of easy one. Lions over Rams, 50-50 on that, but I'll go with the Lions. Bills over Steelers, easy one. And finally, Eagles and Buccaneers. I got the Bucks. Got to ride with them. Jess?
You done? Let Jess go next.
I said the Texans, and of course, I'm going with the Dolphins because of Tua.
Because from Alabama?
All day. You know, I told
Roll
you like, my players. I'm gonna go with. I love CD Lamb. I ain't gonna lie, but like as a nation, Cowboys nation, like I'm not. But you know, I say Cowboys, and then the Lions, Bills, and of course Eagles.
That's what's up. Thank you,
Jess.
Thank you.
Jess, the Eagles?
Thank you.
No, I'm not
They haven't
gonna lie.
won a game in like 8 weeks.
My significant other is.
Oh, man.
So no, we will not be on the same team.
We'll take that.
Do we got to call the first sergeant just in case something go wrong in the house?
Tell Dale
just
I gotta do that when he get off. Don't do that. Tell Dale.
He did.
Tell him I had a stroke when I got that little alert on my phone.
I know, right? Jess, I think Bill Belichick and Nick Saban going to team up and coach the Falcons. That's what I think. Don't make that face. Hey, cutting news. What? Breaking news. That's what I'm trying to say. Breaking news right here. Bill Belichick, Nick Saban.
My retirement request, like I requested something from Nick Saban in the football team. I said, I better have it come May. I don't want Nick Saban.
Flacco going back home with a chorus line. Go ahead, DC. I know you ain't got the Eagles, so you can just talk about the other ones if you want.
Okay, I'll get started. So Browns over the Texans. I think the Browns got something this year, man. Flacco doesn't need to be great. He's a former MVP, Super Bowl MVP. I think he got the experience to beat the Texans. Browns got a good defense, so Browns over the Texans. Chiefs over the Dolphins. Much as I would love the Dolphins to win, but Chiefs has got the Super Bowl pedigree. They're at home, and this is when they go into a different gear. So I give the Chiefs. Packers versus the friggin' Cowgirls. Before I even make this pick, I just want to say Cowboys. I hate y'all, man. Y'all stay out my DMs, Cowboys fan. Stay out my DMs, bro. All right? Stay out my DMs. Freaking Cowboys fans. You getting out of hand with these days.
Sorry, go ahead.
Bro. Anyway. So much as I hate to admit it, forget that. Packers over the Cowboys. I'm picking the Packers over the Cowboys. Anyway. All right.
Rams and Packers Lions over the Cowboys?
Packers over the Cowboys.
Really?
That's right. Cosign. Packers over the Cowboys.
Yep. That must have been a pick with your heart.
I mean, did anybody forget what the Cowboys' history is for the playoffs since they last won the Super Bowl? It's bound to happen. And just like I say, they say that every year. Just like I've been saying, TikTok is coming.
TikTok
may not be the Packers, but it's coming. Anyway.
Okay.
As I move on, Rams and Lions. Rams over the Lions.
Wow.
Lions is playing a good season, but I'm telling you, it's something. The Rams, their former Super Bowl champ, Stafford still got it. He's got 3 good wide receivers. I think Detroit, I don't know. I like Detroit, but I think the Rams has got the pedigree. I'm thinking upset. Rams over the Lions. Steelers and Bills, that's the easy one. Bills over the Steelers. Although shout out to Mike Tomlin, man. He's a good coach, man. He got them there. Bills over the Steelers. Can't believe they canceled the game because of snow. What's up with that?
Who did?
Anyway, the governor.
Yeah,
They
it's
moved it because they're getting a snowstorm. Moved
Yeah.
to Monday.
Oh, that's why it's Monday. Okay. I
Yep.
believe they canceled
last
that,
but
not
not
the Chiefs
least-
game.
And last but not least, let me clarify something. We have won a game the last 6 weeks. It's just we lost the last 2. So your comment is not true. It's all Katt. We did win. We were just 1-5. All right. Just like I posted on the Facebook page, which I was rudely interrupted. The 2012 Ravens had the same record when they won the Super Bowl. Only difference is they had a better defense and they had a wild card first game at home. I think the Eagles are going to win. They're going to win. Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. It's happening. Eagles are going to win. We're not going to the Super Bowl, much as I hate to admit it, but we will beat the lowly Buccaneers.
Wow, not going to the Super Bowl. So you're gonna lose to the Niners, I guess, next round.
No, we're Niners, man. We need a miracle to beat them. And Dallas is hoping we're going to beat them. That's the only time they're going to cheer for us because the Niners is going to kill the Cowboys if they win.
Tony Bostic said he changed his pick. Philly lose by 40.
Look, Tony, y'all got
40
Michigan
burger.
won a national championship. You can't win them all, bro.
I agree. Hey, so that's kind of our picks. Ravens win it all. I think Jackson's gonna fold. I think he's gonna fold somewhere along the way, but we'll see. Good time today on the podcast. Back for 2024. So a little change up. Back every 2 weeks now. So we're gonna do the show on around the first 2 weeks, and then the last show, which is gonna be next show, the end of January, will be the corner. Right, DC? You want to talk about the corner real quick?
All right. So just to recap, just like you guys are all in the chat, this is your opportunity on the corner to get on live with us, to chime in and then present any thoughts of what we're talking about or whatever you want to talk about. Think of it as being on a radio show. You're calling in and you're talking to the actual guests or people on the show. So if you are on the chat, feel free to join in on the corner, man. Be good to see you or hear from you.
You could just come on with audio, visual, audio, whatever's easier for y'all. I mean,
yeah, you can do audio or visual, man. It would be great if it was visual.
I just said that.
It would be great if it was
100%
visual,
just said that.
If you're comfortable with doing audio, see how I just ignored them? You should try that, y'all. It helps. But audio works too.
Oh, goodness.
Jess, did I not just say that?
I was like, I need to bomb my control now to just.
He's like a kid with a new toy now. He's like a kid with a new toy.
This is your fault. Everybody who doesn't like my sound effect is DC's fault. DC's fault. Jess, what you got before we get out of here? I appreciate you coming on also.
No, I appreciate us coming back on, having a solid show for the first part of 2024. Again, I just want to say, all my sorors, we are out here celebrating 111 years, the power of one. And that means the power of one soror, the power of one chapter, the just power to make sure it just takes that one person to step up. And I do want to extend Happy Founders Day to the upcoming sororities of AKA, as well as Zeta, Phi Beta. They have their Founders Days coming up behind us. So I do appreciate the fact that, you know, we come together to be in the service of our nation when we're in the military. But when we're connected by the divine nine, it takes it a little bit higher because, you know, we're already in the service to our country, but this allows us to be in the service of our community. So shout out to Miss Wendy, who is out performing her duty. Oh, Lord, look at you with the pinky.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm so glad you did not reference you read when you did that. You know, I'm going to just go out there on the limb for my AKA sisters because I know they be hot to death about that.
Right.
Thank y'all so much. Again, we look forward to bringing whatever ideas y'all have for the remainder of the year, and we look to see you at the corner.
At the corner. Well, holla at y'all. Unpopular celebrities. We out here. Peace.